And yes, now we're live. Hello,
Yes, I
everyone.
think.
I am Shauna Lee, and I have my new friend with us today, and we're going to talk about retreats.
Yes.
So, do you want to do a quick intro? Do you want me to do a quick
Yes.
intro?
I can do a quick intro. So my name's Nathalie Traikos. And I'm a coach. I'm also a yoga instructor, um, designer, lots of things.
I
But
love
yeah, I
it.
left the corporate world a couple of years ago. So I've been on my own now doing coaching and yeah.
I love it.
What
I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and we're talking about retreats today. So
We're talking about retreats
yeah.
today. You and I have a very similar background. I previously was also in corporate,
Mm-hmm.
almost 20 years project management consulting on the business side in technology. So I am well versed in the tech industry.
Yeah.
And like many people who were in corporate, I was pretty unfulfilled. Um, my name is Shauna, if I didn't say that already.
You
Um,
did. Mhm.
Excellent. So I'm a project manager and consultant by trade, and I leaned really heavily into the women's empowerment coaching when I wrote my first book. It's called So You're Divorced, So What? I went down the path of helping women put their life back together after divorce and very quickly realized, wow, fulfilling and love that phase of life and the rebuilding. I named myself the Start Again Queen. What I realized was in my podcasting conversations and the real life conversations I was having that women were missing in person connection. And that's kind of what led me to hosting retreats, is really, I got to the point where I just don't want to tell anybody what to do. And I would rather sit with you and have a lovely, deep conversation and teach you the tools that I have used to find your own answers.
Mhm.
And so that's what we do at my retreat. I'm hosting the
Mhm.
reinvention retreat the same weekend that you are hosting your retreat. So maybe tell
Mhm.
us about what kind of led you into the retreat.
Yeah. So I didn't give like an extensive background because sometimes I don't know where to even start. But
Yeah.
I was like you, I was also unfulfilled. But I had reached burnout and like that's what made, I made the decision to leave the corporate world. But burnout is your environment matters, but it's also your own patterns that can exacerbate the environmental things that you're
Totally.
yeah. So like what I learned in my journey is that I had a lot of patterns that were essentially kind of keeping me constantly in that flight or fight freeze mode, right? My nervous system was shot, and I didn't have an option. I had to leave. So now, what I write about and what I when I coach mainly corporate professionals, it's around helping them sort of like mainly like those high achiever Enneagram 3, if you're familiar with the Enneagram, type of person who super ambitious but suffers from not knowing when to kind of pull back. And so yeah, this retreat is for, for the person who might be also going through a transition, maybe like changing, wanting to switch careers, relationship, lifestyle, and they might just not like be overthinking, not sure like what to do and how to move at like to your next step, how to move forward, how to move through it. Um and yeah, it's about, gaining self-trust. It's about listening to your own, like you said, not telling you what to do, facilitating scenarios, facilitating workshops and sessions to help you get into your body, because I'm really body based. I work a lot with like bottom up, not only like mindset, but like somatic stuff. So yeah, just
Yes.
like really like understanding, coming into harmony, really like with yourself, because sometimes we fight with ourselves and really what we want to do is come into harmony so that we're making decisions and we're moving through life and we're feeling without sort of that resistance and without that like inner fight, if that makes
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah. It
Yeah.
totally makes sense. And I think this was really super serendipitous that you and I were connecting because we are creating space for the same type of woman
Mhm.
on the same weekend.
I
And
know.
and I thought,
It's
well,
amazing.
that's really, first of all, I thought, well, how cool is that that someone else is
Mhm.
doing the same thing that I'm doing? Um, but I think what really got me excited about this conversation today was what I was illustrating on my podcast with each guest that came on was this idea that we can do the same things and there's plenty of room for everyone, for both of us to do the same thing, to support one another and not compete and just learn from each other. And so I was like, this is so great. You and I can have a
Absolutely.
conversation about how we're hosting these similar but different retreats, different parts of the
Mhm.
country, same
Yeah.
weekend, and
Yeah.
we can still learn from each other and support each other. So that's what I was really most excited about.
Me
Um,
too. It's
so
it's awesome. Yeah.
so I think you and I we're doing the same. We're having the same kind of conversations in terms of
Mhm.
let's really tap in, listen, give you space to hear your own guidance. I always say hear because my guidance comes kind of audibly. But
Mhm.
some people it's feeling it in their body or it's the emotions that are arising. And so it really is just
Mhm.
learning what is your type. And I think that's what's really cool about the space is that it lets everyone have their own individual experience, but collectively together and you are not alone while you're kind of
Yeah.
learning.
Exactly. And there's something about like the community and like sharing and sort of allowing, like, if you're an individual in a retreat, you are feeling stuff, like you're experiencing your own inner world and like whatnot. Um, but everyone around you, like being okay, there's like an okayness about it, like that what you're going through it's being supported by the group because everyone's just there holding the same
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
And that's like really special. I think that's very healing and underlooked or undervalued sometimes,
Yeah.
by like
I
a mhm,
I agree completely. And I think for me, hosting retreats was a two-part connection that I'm creating space for is one for that woman who attends to connect with herself, but
mhm,
secondarily and sometimes more importantly is connecting with the other women in the group. And I think a lot of people who are hesitant to go on retreats is because they're not comfortable with the idea of being vulnerable around someone else. And I think that that's for me at least in the retreat I'm hosting is kind of a gradual. We're not like day one
absolutely.
immediately, unearthing your
I
your deepest wounds like that. There's a
exactly.
there's a method to the process so that
Building
you get
safety.
so you feel safe, yeah, to
Yeah,
be vulnerable.
exactly.
And I think when we are able to do that in community with other women, that is
Mhm.
what becomes extremely healing. And my first
Absolutely.
question that I um, wanted to ask you was, how is your retreat different than others? Because that was kind of spurring my answer to that question. So I want to hear how yours is
Mhm.
different.
Yeah. Well, really quick, like how many retreats have you gone on? I've
I
gone on
have I've
because this
attended
is
one
mhm,
internationally
mhm.
and a few locally.
Yeah, same. Okay. Yeah, me too. So yeah, the retreats I have done in the past usually kind of only stick with like one modality.
Mhm.
And I think that's what makes mine different. I'm actually co-leading it with someone else too. So she's a yoga instructor and Pilates instructor. I also teach yoga, but I focus more on the coaching and sort of like, that world. Um, and what's different, like in my coaching, at least how I was trained in it, it's we just do various modalities. So we focus on somatic, like unconscious, reprogramming, mindset, emotional work. Um and so yeah, so what makes this different is that it's going to be like designed in a way like you were saying. It's going to build safety with the group, within yourself, and a lot of that is done through like, getting in touch with the body, like nervous system, immediate, acutely nervous system work too, right? And then we're gonna do workshops where we're gonna tap into the like different aspects of self. So like emotional, unconscious,
Hmm.
mind. And so I'm gonna use a lot of tools that kind of like lets you go in different layers. Because mindset work is great. However, in my experience, it doesn't really help transform as much as like emotional work and somatic work and
Yeah.
like kind of like blending all those things together. And to your like something that you said earlier, it's like each person is different too. So
Yeah.
it's like maybe mindset's going to change someone's life. Maybe the somatic is going to change someone's life, right? But we're going to get to experience all of it. And
Yeah.
then, you're going to choose what you can take with you moving forward for the rest of your life, cuz that's what happens. We learn in these retreats and then you take it with you. It
Yeah.
doesn't stay there.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I think that's what one of the things that I really loved about the Tulum retreat I went on was this idea of integration. So I had come
Mhm.
having already done a lot of the deep healing work. And so it really was about just giving me a space to let all of that settle in and integrate into who I was becoming. And
Mhm.
so that's what I'm recreating in this particular experience in Sedona is really giving women an opportunity to reinvent themselves. And it's not always really big, grandiose ways. Sometimes it's just
Mhm.
a matter of, learning how to say no without justifying it, or setting better boundaries, or deciding that, yes, today is really the day I'm going to start writing my book. Like whatever the thing
Yeah.
is for your next chapter. Um, for me, having been divorced 3 times and starting a business and writing a book and starting a podcast. Like I have
Mhm.
started all these kind of blow up your life big things, and
Mhm.
it doesn't always have to be that way. And so it really was just about giving them space to integrate, but also that's the 3 day process that I take women through is one, ground in and feel safe enough to kind of open up. And then
Mhm.
day 2 is really like letting it settle into your body. And then day 3 is we go out and practice in town. We do shopping and go to dinner, and gives them an opportunity to kind of practice this new version of
I love
themselves
that.
out in public, um,
When in the community too, we're all like
in the community.
everyone's
Yes.
supporting each other. Yeah.
Yes. So
It's
you're
beautiful.
you're
Mhm.
you're going together with your new friends, but you're also just going out with, real life people who are out there having dinner, and waiters and
Yeah.
those sort of things. Because I felt like in a lot of situations when you go to a retreat, you have all these amazing aha epiphanies, and then as soon as you land,
It's like
at
poof, it
home, it's like
disappears.
it
Yeah.
disappears. You're
Uh-huh.
right back into old patterns. And so I feel really
Totally.
strongly that I want to give women this opportunity to kind of practice embodying this version of them. And you were talking a lot about the body, mind, spirit, which to me, that's anything I've ever done is incorporating the 3 aspects of who we
Mhm.
are. And so I'm heavy on the breath work in terms of a specific modality, but
Mhm.
it really is breath work, meditation, and journaling, because it gets you into all 3 aspects of who you are. It lets you get in your body,
Right.
connect with the divine, and
Yeah.
also kind of rewire our monkey brains that try to run the show.
Totally. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So important. I love it. That's awesome.
So, what are you most
Mhm.
excited about your upcoming retreat? What excites you most?
I don't okay. I think everything. It's so hard, right? It's like, what are
Yeah.
you um, so I think I'm more excited about, like, watching to me, there's nothing more fulfilling than seeing someone across from you, like, you know?
Yes.
or like heal a part that was really holding them back, or
Yeah.
and I mean that from the sense of like a belief that they had that they no longer have to carry the burden for, right? Like
Yeah.
those, like there's nothing more fulfilling
I
than
live for those moments.
witnessing, yeah,
Yes.
than witnessing that. Um and just seeing that from like a group perspective, and seeing how people show up, and watching how they kind of shift throughout like the days. I
Yeah.
think that's like super, yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
How about you?
So the the reason I picked Sedona is
Mhm.
because it is the only place on the planet that I have been for the first time that felt like home. Like I
Mhm.
remember driving to one of the vortexes and thinking, I've been here before. Like this feels like I've
Mhm.
lived in this area before.
Mhm.
And it was it was like weird and unsettling, but also the it felt like a homecoming to me. Like it felt
Mhm.
so safe and warm and like, oh, I know this place, and it's so magical. So anyways,
Mhm.
that's why I chose Sedona. But the thing I'm most excited about selfishly is that we are going on a land journey tour. So I have partnered with a facility, Shine, and
Mhm.
the owner, um, Anahata, is taking us on this tour, because I think if you know about Sedona, you know about the vortexes and the different energy points, and
Mhm.
all of the most popular ones. Well, she's taking us off the beaten path. And so she's taking us to some private vortexes that I have not ever been to before. So that is what
Oh,
I'm most excited about, is
fun.
kind of getting this really special tour of places that not everybody can go to.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And also I
yeah.
see someone joined. Hello, Divine
Oh,
Nudges.
great. Yay.
Hello. We're talking about our retreat. Both of our retreats we're planning
Yeah.
the
In
same weekend
October.
in different places.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
yours is in New
awesome.
York, mine is in
Mine's in New
Sedona.
York. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mine's in this
What
Catskills, Hudson Valley area. Yeah, of New York.
and so this next question I had for you was like, what was the most fun part of planning it, but also kind of leading into why did you choose that location as well?
Yeah, we like I live nearby-ish, right? I'm
Hmm.
an hour and a half about south. And it's just a magical place to be. I know it's like Sedona. It's not like in the energy vortex, right? Sort of.
I mean, magic is unique. It's different for every
And
place. So yeah,
it's individual, right? But like in
for
the
sure.
fall, in that area, all the trees, all these gorgeous colors, there's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
beautiful water, and it's just so peaceful, serene, and it's the perfect like area and place. We kind of service New York City and things like that. So it's like the perfect getaway weekend
Gotcha.
where you don't have to really like you just show up. It's very local in that way. So just show up and you get this like peaceful, beautiful home, this Airbnb we're renting out in the middle of like the forest, all the trees that are changing colors. So it's
I love it.
also a transition. So like you're moving through the transition, but so is nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a very beautiful and like peaceful
So
place.
it feels like October was a very intentional date for you.
Yes.
Mine is
Yes, it
not.
was. Oh, okay. What was
I
it?
originally was targeting mid-September,
Okay.
and there was a snafu with booking, and so the event center got booked before we booked it, and
Oh,
so we had to
okay.
look at different dates, and I had already had somebody sign up, and so I had to
Oh,
verify that any new dates I chose worked for her. Anyway, so there was a lot of back and forth for us to
oh my
settle on
gosh.
this weekend that we're now going to Sedona in mid-October.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
that and now we're having this conversation because it's the same weekend.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. Isn't
that
that
wouldn't have
funny?
happened, yeah. Just kidding.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Um,
this is
yeah.
another question that I had because I don't know about you, but I thought about hosting retreats for years before I actually planned my own long week. And I've been doing afternoon retreats here locally. But how long did you think about it before you actually were like, I'm going to do it?
Yeah, I think it's been like years too, like where the idea seeded in my mind, right? But then I kind of
Hmm.
like, eh, whatever, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna,
Hmm.
didn't think about it. But it's been more and more calling in the last like couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot louder. And this is funny, but I just realized this today. I have a vision board that I do every year.
Yeah.
I'm into that, and I just do it for fun, and I leave it as my wallpaper on my phone.
Uh-huh.
And, I didn't realize it, but on the wallpaper, it had retreats on
Yeah.
it, and I, like, completely, like, forgot that it was there. I forgot that I added it there,
Yeah.
and so, like, today when we're having this conversation, it's just kind of amazing because I was like, "Wow," like, I did it. Like I did it. It was on my
Yeah.
wallpaper and now I'm doing it. So it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Mhm.
think the seed gets planted and then, we water it or don't water it. I also, it had
Yeah.
been years for me. I had
Uh-huh.
actually planned a previous retreat probably 2 years ago. Um,
Uh-huh.
and didn't go, the launch did not go well. And so I ended up
That
canceling the
happens.
retreat and
Uh-huh.
refunding money. And,
Yeah.
it took me a little bit to lick my wounds and
Of
build my
course.
confidence back up before I was ready to do it again. And so, yeah, it's been a long time coming for me. And I'll tell you
That's
the
exciting.
reason why I
Mhm.
originally wanted to host retreats.
Mhm.
Um, I went through a deep, deep depressive episode and a dark night of the soul. It was really
Mm.
tied to my awakening. It was a whole journey. And
Mm.
when I remember being in that space of just feeling distraught and lost. And all I wanted was
Mhm.
to be able to go away and stay for a weekend where somebody else was going to take care of me, where I was just not going to have to think about feeding myself. I had a warm, cozy bed. I just wanted to be nurtured. And I actually
Mhm.
Googled retreat spaces near me and I couldn't find anything. And so I was like, okay, this is what needs to exist. And of course, they're all around. But in that moment, I didn't see them locally. And so
Mhm.
it's funny that so I'm in Texas, but I'm hosting the retreat in Sedona.
Mm.
And really, it's just, every little thing is it's a stone on your path, right? And so
Yeah.
I will be creating the event space here to host retreats because that really is the vision.
Oh,
But for now,
amazing.
we're
I love
starting in
that.
Sedona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great. Yeah, that goes really hand in hand because you are already doing local retreats, right? Like day retreats there.
yeah, yeah. Little half
Yeah.
day retreats. Yeah, because
Yeah.
what I was hearing from a lot of women, especially the busy professionals, was I can't take a whole weekend away from my family, but I
Mhm.
could cancel some meetings for an afternoon and come pop out, while the kids are still in school. And so it really
Mm.
started in that way, was just to create kind of a bite size opportunity to
Yeah,
test out what a retreat feels like. And there's just only so much you can do in a single afternoon. I mean, there's a lot you can do
that's
in a
true.
single afternoon, but the depth that you can get to in a full weekend is really
Yeah,
where
and
the
you're, like,
beauty is.
immersed in it,
Hmm.
right? It's not like, "Okay, I'm just gonna pop
I
in,
mean,
go back out to the" yeah.
popping in, you can get the clarity you're looking for if you're circling a decision. Like there's a lot you can do in a single afternoon, but
Uh-huh.
in order to really take a step away from all of the distractions in your life,
Mm.
like it takes leaving and
Mhm.
removing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What other
Yeah.
questions did you have?
Well, I was just wondering, like, yeah, so you mentioned that this is your vision is really like leaning full all in retreats and
Hmm.
opening one. So you're
Hmm.
how many retreats do you think you want to do on a yearly basis?
So ideally, I would love to do 4 retreats a year, one each quarter.
Mhm.
And so for each season, we have a retreat, and I would love to have 2 domestic and 2 international. So
Mhm.
I'm I'm eyeballing Italy and Australia next year. We'll see which one happens, but probably
Fun.
Australia will happen sooner. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I would love to do 4 a year. I'd be really happy with 1 or 2 a year, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, ideally, if yeah, 4. What about you?
I think I'm leaning eventually towards that. I'm gonna
Hmm.
start with this one, and then next year, maybe do, like, 2, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, or yeah, yeah, but I think I like, to your point, I think I want to do, like, multiple a year, like, once a quarter sounds good, or once every 2 months, depending on the type of retreat and, like, where it is, because there's a lot that goes into it, right? It's a lot of energy and the
yes,
marketing, all the business stuff behind this, there's a lot in everything, designing it, like the program, like the weekend, and then all the business stuff. So
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering if Divine Nudges. I love that
Oh,
name.
me
I'm
too.
curious if they have any questions for us. Um, Otherwise, we'll
Yeah,
just keep chatting about the things that we had to chat about.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious if you have questions, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think you can
and then
write
what?
a message.
Oh, this is a good question. What is the top objection that you have heard to people saying, no, I can't do this retreat right now?
Yeah. So this is my first retreat. I don't think I mentioned that. So the conversations are still being had. But most recently, someone said, someone was traveling, like going on a international, no, no, not international, sorry. They were traveling for a wedding, like a couple weekends after the scheduled retreat. And they're like, oh, I can't afford it, et cetera,
Yeah,
because they're spending all this upfront money to buy a ticket and to probably hotel for the wedding. Um, and I think that money comes up a lot as an
hmm,
objection, just in general. I don't think only retreats, right? Like, even just in
agreed.
coaching, I'm sure that you've
Yeah.
also experienced that. Um, and money stuff most of the time goes like deeper. I don't
Yes.
know if we want to get into that right now, but
Sure.
yeah, but I think that what I see is sometimes people might be um, having resistance, maybe because they're a little scared. They don't know if, you know, I think like believing that something is going to help you, it's like people want to know for a fact that doing this is going to solve this very specific problem that I
Yep.
have.
Yep.
Um, and we all know that like there are no guarantees in life, and how you show up is really like the answer, because it's like if you're showing up just in general, like anything, right? If you're
Yeah.
showing up
Yeah. Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of like one foot out, you're not going to extract. If you're not present, you're not going to, be there to see.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot of like the fear of commitment, because it's easier to just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. It's
It's
easier
easier
to
to
stay in
just
the comfort zone,
to stay in the comfort zone, exactly.
even if
It's
it's
easier.
not super cozy and it's really uncomfortable and you don't love it. It's still what you know.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think time and money are the two that I hear the most in terms of objections. It's
Mhm.
either, um, well, I mean, time really. It ends up being a very
Yeah.
popular weekend for weddings and all sorts of
Yeah.
travel vacations. I've heard so many
Do you know?
people say, I've already got plans that weekend. So obviously, that's a
Yeah.
legitimate
Of course.
block, right? But
Yeah.
I think for me, when I am hearing an objection, it is that a legitimate obstacle, or is that fear and doubt coming in? And
Yeah,
so that's where you
exactly.
have to kind of suss out, you as the retreat attendee have to kind of figure
Mhm.
out, is it really an obstacle, or am I using it as an excuse? And I think
Yeah,
the money one comes up because retreats are expensive.
of
And
course. Mhm.
I kind of say it's similar to when this is my humor. Why are divorces expensive? Because they're worth it. Why are retreats expensive? Because they're worth it. Like, it is the same. Like, you are making an
That's
investment
funny.
in yourself,
Exactly,
and
yes.
who
Mhm.
you are on the other side of it is like just being able to decide. I mean, my first retreat, I think, what was it, $4,000? I think the one I really wanted to go on was $20,000, and so I thought, okay,
Uh-huh.
I can justify four. But
Yeah,
I had all the same fears, like,
yeah.
is this really like, and I'll tell you what really got me there was realizing that I could use it as a business expense. So I went on the retreat
Right.
because I knew I wanted to host retreats, so it became
Mhm.
research. It became a business expense to go do the
Yeah,
market research and find the location and all blah 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 blah.
yeah,
That was just the justification that my mind needed in order to
yeah.
say, yes, it's okay for you to spend this money on yourself. Yes, it's okay for you
100%.
to leave even though your kids need you at home. Yes, it's okay for you to go and take time for yourself. And that really was the major internal block for me to get over.
100%. Yeah, it's so much easier to be like, "Oh, no, I have to do that, and I have to take care of
Yeah.
this person. Oh, and I have that, I have this thing, like, oh, that person's gonna need me." But those are all sort of like
Ex-
projections.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's been interesting to hear objections. And then the other one I get when it comes to like the financial piece of it is I hear a lot of people comparing the cost of a retreat to the cost of a vacation. And to me, I'm like,
Oh, okay.
that's apples and oranges. We're not comparing a retreat experience to an all-inclusive in Mexico. Like, these are different experiences.
Right, that's true, that's true. It's
Yeah,
like, what do you want? What do you want out of this retreat?
yeah.
Um, when you're yeah, if you're on vacation, you're just like you're not there like, the retreat is excavating into something so that you
Hmm.
can leave better in the sense of,
Yeah.
like, leave with more tools, leave knowing yourself better, leave refreshed, leave it's, like, almost like you're peeling that skin, like, you're shedding, right? Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's like vacations. You don't you you're not gonna do that on vacation.
You just put your
Eh,
sunshades on and
yeah.
drink some
Yeah.
cocktails and relax and read a book and
Mhm. And
and
keep
not
repeating your patterns.
and
Just
keep repeating
kidding.
your patterns. Like, it's helpful, the
Yeah.
rest is important, and I
Mhm.
think a lot of people even
Absolutely.
struggle to go on vacation. So like, if that's the
Yeah.
phase you're in, then that's still really valuable and important to be able to
Mm.
give yourself that space to just pause and reflect.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, I think a retreat is a much different experience, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Absolutely. It is absolutely worth it. Oh, it's amazing. I love
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
retreats.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. But
I
yeah,
am
this
too.
so we've been on a little bit longer than we thought we would
We did.
be. Yeah,
Yes.
this was
Yeah.
fun.
It was fun. And look, we
Yeah,
did our first Substack Live. I love it. That just goes to
celebrating
show
us.
there's a power in numbers, and do it together if you're scared. Because I was scared.
And in exactly, and in the retreat, it's the same thing. You're in the community.
Absolutely.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing. We're working. It's very meta here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
I'm excited for you and your retreat. I hope it goes
likewise.
amazingly well.
Same
And
to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited.
like we'll keep in touch and maybe we'll do another
Absolutely.
one if
Yeah, we
anyone
should.
has any questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, good
Okay. Well,
conversation.
have
Look at us.
great conversation.
Yay.
Yes. Celebrating us. Yeah. Looking forward to hearing how how everything unfolds and we'll keep chatting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah,
again,
we
if
should
anyone
definitely
has
do a recap after the retreats just to say how they went.
Oh, 100%. I love that
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. Love that idea. And I think these hopefully stay on. We don't know if it's going to disappear or stay,
Yeah.
but if it does stay and anyone sees this later, if you have any questions, just like comment, and then we can follow up. Um,
I
but yeah,
love it. Yeah.
cool.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you guys.
Have a
All
good
right. I'll
day.
see you. See you. You too. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.